Years ago, the West African nation of Ghana closed its dark chapter of military rule, closed the door on its troubled past, and ushered in the country's fourth republic. The people adopted a new constitution that guaranteed their natural and inalienable right to establish a framework of government, and thus declared and affirmed their commitment to freedom, justice, probity, and accountability. The Political Performance Index is a democratic exercise of those rights stated in the Constitution, one that all the people pledge themselves to follow for the protection and preservation of fundamental human rights and freedoms, unity and stability for Ghana. These principles spring from the sovereign will of the people. The Political Performance Index is an integral part of their solemn declaration and affirmation to that commitment to accountability.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you some of the results of the 2012 Political Performance Index compiled by the International Center for Public Accountability, the ICPA. My name is Abna Amwa, your hostess for the program. The PPI is more than just the scorecard of a nation. It is a measure of the transparency of the democratic system that is possible in Ghana, where all citizens get involved by becoming better informed. An informed citizen is likely to be more active in his or her civic obligations toward a nation that truly represents the will of its people, where elected officials truly act in the interest of the citizens who elected them. Ghana is such a nation, and the PPI is now a vital part of that process. It is important to remember that the PPI is more of a citizen's project than an academic exercise. The grades awarded to public officials come from the citizens themselves and reflect how they perceive the performance of these officials. This year's PPI is the first to be compiled by the International Center for Public Accountability, a non-partisan organization that has been recently founded to provide timely information about the performance of government officials and to help promote effective leadership and public participation in governance. The ICPA believes that citizens must have access to credible information regarding the performance of their public officials, because when government is transparent, accessible, and accountable to those it represents, it is more effective and responsible. The Pan-African news magazine Africa Watch established the first PPI in Ghana in 2010, and it has grown since then in strength and scope. This index is solely for keeping the goals of accountability relevant and alive in Ghana's vibrant democracy. The importance of the PPI cannot be underestimated. Such a system of citizen measurement of their own government and elected officials has never been attempted before. The index that is running right now on your TV screens is a living model of what is possible, not just in Ghana, but all across Africa. It will continue to grow as the direct involvement of Ghana's citizens grows, because they know that they are participating in a democracy that will truly be of their own making, one they can know and measure, one they can steadily work on to improve for all of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, we can only have the future we are willing to make, and we must do this together. Let's welcome a distinguished statesman, Justice Emil Short. He headed the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice for 17 years, from 1993 to 2010.
Even though citizens have a right to demand accountability from public officials, we as Ghanaians have not developed that culture of demanding accountability from public officials. In many cases, the citizens just allow public officials to get away with breach of their official functions.
Thank you, Justice Short. Citizens have a right to know how well their public officials are performing. This is why the ICPA has taken on the task of conducting the Political Performance Index. We are very pleased to have on this program the leaders of all the political parties with representation in Parliament. It is a direct reflection of the importance of this index that they have all joined us here to share their views on how important accountability in government is to each of their own political parties. We have Mr. Jacob Echabilante, Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Ramadan, Chairman of the People's National Convention, Madame Samia Yaba Nkrumah, Chairwoman of the Convention People's Party, and Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress.
The best choice is made by a fully informed voter population, by fully informed voters. And therefore, they need to have the information to be able to be fully informed and to make a wise decision. After all, at the end of the day, what happens is that we campaign to be allowed to manage the nation on behalf of the owners of the nation, which are the people. And we must make an account to them of our stewardship. And our stewardship means making everything that we do and why we do it available to them so they can make an informed choice about who should continue to manage the country on their behalf.
Public officials are people who have been put in positions of trust by the citizenry, either through election or through appointment by somebody who has had the mandate of the people so to do. And certainly you need to account to the people. You need to do everything to renew your mandate, to make sure that people do not lose confidence in the way you perform. You need to discharge your obligations in accordance with set rules or set guidelines. The citizens of this country put officials in place to address their issues. And if you fail to do that, they have every right to question you. They have every right to decide to even withdraw their mandate from you. So we are very conscious of that. And we believe every official must be very conscious of that, so that together we can grow our democracy. This is the only way to go.
There is no doubt about the fact that politicians and many figures in high offices are today regarded with suspicion. We've reached a moment in the life of our nation when greater transparency and accountability will go a long way to helping us develop quicker.
Democracy is not a destination, it is a process. What we need to emphasize now is accountability in public offices. So the next stage of the development of our democracy is to work towards holding all public officers accountable to the citizens. The right of citizens to demand accountability from leadership is an inalienable right.
Of Unity Ensemble. They just performed a chia, a recreational dance. The ICPA believes that it is important for you to know how the Political Performance Index was compiled. It wants us to be clear and transparent in this process as they are asking our elected representatives to be in their governance. The ICPA wants you to understand how it was done and know that it is an ongoing process that is always open to suggestions and improvements. That means all of you are part of the process, just as we all are part of Ghana's political future. Now, here to explain the methodology used for the PPI is Nana Tufo-Boateng.
Thanks very much, Abna. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nana Tufo-Boateng, and I am here to explain the methodology behind this year's Political Performance Index. The PPI was designed to be thorough in its reviews of how officials do their jobs, but it was also designed to be easy to follow and understand. It wasn't designed for members of some exclusive club of academics and political insiders. Instead, it was designed for people like you and me, ordinary citizens who want to monitor and assess the performance of their public officials and in the process make them accountable for their stewardship to the people. As Abna told you, the PPI is simply a citizens' project. The public officials were assessed by local citizens. The International Center for Public Accountability, ICPA, selected these citizen evaluators from a group of 1,824 people who responded to advertisements placed in the Ghanaian media. Respondents received questionnaires that helped determine if they qualified to become citizen evaluators. The citizen evaluators are Ghanaians from across the nation, representing various professional backgrounds. Each has at least a university degree and has lived in Ghana for the past 6 years. After the screening, 250 citizens were selected to assess the performance of the president and the presidential candidate, and 300 were selected to assess ministers, deputy ministers, regional ministers, deputy regional ministers, and political party executives. Members of the two groups were not told the names of other members of their groups. To avoid any groupthink conclusions, each member operated individually and assigned percentage marks to the public officials based solely on how they assessed the performance of each official. They were asked to score each official numerically, choosing a number between 1 and 100 based on how they saw the official's general performance, with 1 being the lowest score possible and 100 being the highest. The percentage marks were then used to reach an average for a final letter grade A to F for each official. It is as simple as that, a democratic exercise by the citizens and for the citizens. The same scoring method was used in evaluating the Speaker and members of Parliament. Meanwhile, the ICPA also invited members of Parliament to evaluate themselves and the Speaker of the House. The ICPA requested that MPs send them self-assessment reports on their own achievements in Parliament, as well as their accomplishments within their constituencies, and also to assess the work of their colleagues. Out of the 230 MPs, 52 sent ICPA a self-assessment report constituting 22.6% of members of the House. 38 MPs also submitted a peer review constituting 16.5% of Parliament. In addition, some former MPs and senior journalists who cover Ghana's Parliament assessed the performance of the Speaker and the members of the House. Public officials who have been in their positions for less than 4 months prior to the assessment period were not graded. The ICPA tried to keep the grading system as simple as possible. A grade of A for exceptional performance means that the individual scored an overall average of 95 to 100%. Grade of C+ for satisfactory performance means that the individual scored an overall average of 70 to 74%. If an individual received a grade F, that means the person's average score was 0 to 49%, which deserved the lowest ranking of failure. Because President John Dramani Mahama took office July 24th, just hours after the sudden death of President John Atta Mills, he has not been in office long enough to be assessed under the normal PPI categories, so he was graded only on general performance and ethical behavior. In addition, these grades are based more on Mahama's role as vice president, particularly how he supported President Mills both in political and diplomatic roles, and also how he prepared himself to step in as president when the unexpected happened. Usually, the president would have been graded on 6 categories. 1. Economic development agenda. The impact of his programs on citizens' living standards, as well as their effects on the economic base of the country. 2. Social interventions, whether his policies and programs improved economic and life outcomes such as health, employment, and earnings. 3. National security, how secure national interests and values were from threats and challenges so that Ghana could develop in peace, whether the nation was well prepared for large-scale emergencies, whether the armed forces were at peak levels of preparedness, and how well the war on drugs was proceeding. Another important criterion was whether citizens felt safer this year than last year. 4. Political development, whether the president improved those institutions, attitudes, and values that helped shape the political power system in the country, and weighed how effectively the goals of good governance, rule of law, and respect for human rights factored into his decisions. 5. Foreign policy, how well the president managed international relations and whether the nation's interaction with the global community benefited the country. 6. ethical behavior, how well the president adhered to ethical and moral principles and judgments in his personal, political and professional dealings, and how truthful, honest and fair he was, whether he abused the public's trust in any way, and whether he entangled himself in conflict of interest issues or any other form of corruption. Again, President Mahama's performance was not evaluated on all these categories because he has not been in office long enough to be fairly assessed, so he was graded only on general performance and ethical behavior. Only presidential candidates from parties with representation in parliament were assessed for general performance and ethical behavior. The citizen evaluators looked at how constructive the presidential candidates were in criticizing the government and keeping it accountable to the citizens of Ghana. They also considered the opposition candidates' suggestions for alternative national policies and determined how solid and credible the plans were. In addition, the candidates' experience, capabilities, and expertise in terms of governance were also considered. And aside from checking whether the opposition candidates conducted politics responsibly in accordance with the Constitution, the evaluators also assessed the candidates' contributions to the political development of their parties and the nation as a whole. The ethical behavior of candidates also was assessed, with evaluators noting how well the candidates followed ethical and moral principles in their personal, political and professional actions, and if they were ever involved in any form of corruption or conflict of interest issues. For ministers and their deputies, the citizen evaluators examined their managerial and supervisory effectiveness, measured how articulate they had been in implementing government policies, and how well they conducted themselves with regard to public protocol as well as with their peers. They also determined how clear and effective ministers and their deputies were as communicators. The evaluators judged how accessible and cooperative the officials were in trying to accomplish their own goals while still relating well with the public throughout the working process. They also considered how well the officials cooperated with their colleagues in government as well as the members of rival parties, and measured how frequently the officials based their actions on what was right rather than what was politically expedient. Evaluators also factored ethical behavior into the single general performance. When evaluators assessed the performance of regional ministers and deputy regional ministers, they considered how well the policies and programs they championed affected the lives of constituents in their regions. For example, they reviewed how concerns such as poverty were alleviated, whether educational objectives were accomplished, and to what degree infrastructure, employment, safety, and health goals were met. In addition, they determined whether officials helped bring jobs to their communities and whether money allocated to the regions was spent in the interest of the common good. Regional ministers and their deputies also were judged on whether they were effective in conveying governmental messages, programs and policies to the citizens, as well as attracting national projects to their regions. Our evaluators also considered the regional ministers and their deputies' human relations at the workplace. Their ethical behavior was also factored into their final performance score. In the case of all deputies, the evaluators also checked the quality of their working relationships with their bosses and how well they operated in a support role. Regarding members of parliament, the benchmarks were knowledge of lawmaking and Ghana's constitution, effectiveness in proposing new laws, activeness in executive oversight, contributions to parliamentary debates, responsiveness to the needs of constituencies and constituents, and tolerance toward views that differed from one's own party's policies. The MPs also were judged on how effective they were in overall relations with the public and their peers, and on whether they adhered to ethical standards of conduct. Similarly, the MPs who engaged in peer reviews were asked to gauge their colleagues' contributions at the parliamentary committee level because so much important work goes on behind those committee doors. The Speaker of Parliament was judged on how well she managed proceedings and debates in the House, whether she remained non-partisan while presiding over Parliament, and whether she carried out her duties in a fair manner. The Speaker's professional ability, character, integrity, and independence were considered too, as well as her overall reputation for fairness and lack of bias. Even her temperament and patience were factored in. By definition, political party executives place a high value on actions and judgments that give their party a political advantage over opponents. But what happens in situations when certain actions or judgments help the party but hurt the country? The answer makes the assessment of political party executives so important. Therefore, the way political party executives handled such choices was factored into their PPI score. The party executives also were judged on how effectively they ran their party in terms of mobilization, discipline, and raising funds for party activities and campaigns. Communication and organizational skills were also assessed. Citizen evaluators also determined whether party leaders tolerated views that differed from their own party's politics and agenda. Lastly, a close determination was made as to whether the party leaders adhered to stringent ethical standards at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to remind you all that all the grades that appear next to the names of each public official assessed in this year's Political Performance Index came about mainly by averaging the scores submitted by the citizen evaluators and are a clear reflection of how the public sees those officials' job performance. And as always, ICPA invites you to send your comments and feedbacks regarding this year's PPI through its website www.icpaweb.org. Thank you all.
Thank you for that explanation, Nanatufo. We hope this review of the methodology for compiling the PPI has offered you a clearer picture of how simple and fair the ICPA's approach has been. What is ultimately important is that the results are easy to understand, accurate, and non-biased. Let me remind you all that the PPI is more of a citizen's project than an academic exercise. We are proud that this work has been done by citizens based solely on how they see the performance of their elected officials. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 2012 PPI scores for top performing members of Parliament.
Edward K.D. Ajaho, NDC MP for Aveno-Ave, 55, a lawyer, first Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Ajaho studied at the University of Ghana, where he obtained an LLB degree in 1984. He then proceeded to the Ghana School of Law, becoming a barrister at law in 1986. He's married with 4 children. General performance, A-. Moses Aduko Asaga, NDC MP for Nabdam, 55, an economist. He earned a master's degree in petroleum engineering from the University of Aberdeen in Scotland in 1987 and a master's degree in business administration from Yonsei University in South Korea in 1990. He's married with 3 children. General performance, A-. Dr. Anthony Akotose, NPP MP for Old Tafo, 59, an economist. He holds a PhD from Howard University in the United States. He's married with 3 children. General performance, A. Cletus Apul Avoka, NDC MP for Zebila, 61, a lawyer, the majority leader in parliament. He served as Minister for Interior under President John Evans Atta Mills until January 2010. From 1993 to 2005, Avoka was MP for the Boko West constituency in the Upper West region. He was elected MP for Zebila in 2008. General performance. A. Alban S.K. Bagbin, NDC MP for Nadoli West, 55, a lawyer. He holds a bachelor's degree in law and English from the University of Ghana and a law degree from the Ghana School of Law. He is a former majority leader. General performance. A-. Ambrose P. Derry, NPP MP for Laura Nabdam, 56, a lawyer. He holds degrees from the University of Ghana and the Ghana School of Law. He's married with one child. General performance. A-. Oseiche Mensabonsu, NPP MP Swami, 55, an urban planner, architect and surveyor, the minority leader. He holds a bachelor's degree in planning from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's married with 5 children. General performance. A-. Professor Aaron Michael Okwe, NPP MP for Dom Kwabenya, 68, a lecturer, lawyer and diplomat. He holds degrees from the University of Ghana, the University of London and Britain's Honourable Society of Lincoln's Inn. He's married with 6 children. General performance. A-. Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, NPP MP for New Dwabin North, 71, an agricultural economist and diplomat. He earned a master's degree from the University of London in 1969. He's married with 5 children. General performance. A-. Papa Owusu Ankuma, NPP MP for Sekondi, 54, a lawyer. He holds degrees from the University of Ghana and the Ghana School of Law. He's married with 3 children. General performance. A. Abdul Rashid Pelpo, NDC MP for Wa Central, 48, a development consultant, architect and surveyor from Wa in the Upper West region. He holds a master's degree from the University of Ghana. He's married with 3 children. General performance. A-.
Congratulations to Parliament's top achievers. We are proud of you all. And now here are the PPI results for the country's deputy ministers.
Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, a deputy minister for information, 32, is one of Ghana's youngest deputy ministers. He served as president of the National Union of Ghana Students from 2005 to 2006. He is married with 1 child. General performance. B-. Kwabena Wusue Champong, Deputy Minister for Interior, 49, has a background in communications. He previously served as Deputy Minister for Tourism. General performance. C. Stephen Aka, a Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, is 62 years old. Born in Dadieso Suaman, he most recently worked as Assistant Director and Tutor at Ejusumai Secondary School in Ejiso. He is married with 3 children. General performance. C. Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed, Deputy Minister for Tourism, 43, is a social scientist. He is a former Deputy Minister for the Eastern Region. General performance. C-. Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, Deputy Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, 56, is the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East in the Greater Accra region. Before becoming an MP, he was a dental surgeon at the 37 Military Hospital in Accra and Director of the Highway Dental Clinic in Mamubi, Accra. He is married with 3 children. General performance. C. Elvis Efriye Ankra, a Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, 45, has a background in communications. General performance. B. Dr. Joseph Samuel Annan, Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, will turn 59 in December. He is the Member of Parliament for Komenda Edina Eguafo Abrem. He was a Senior Policy Advisor for the UN Development Program in New York, 2003 to 2008. He is married with 3 children. General performance. B. Ernest Atukwe Ama, Deputy Minister for Communications, 55, is the Member of Parliament for Trobua Masamai in the Greater Accra region. He received a master's degree in architecture from the Kiev Civil Engineering Institute in Ukraine in 1988 and is the former chief engineer for the Ghana District Assembly. He is married with 4 children. General performance. C+. Mahama Ayariga, Deputy Minister for Education, 38, is a lawyer. He has also served as Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry and a spokesman for the late President John Atta Mills. From 2005 to 2009, he was MP for the Boko Central constituency. He holds a Master of Law degree from Harvard Law School in the United States and a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of Ghana, Legon. General performance, B+. Jifa Peace Ativo, Deputy Minister for Transport, 56, is a banker. General performance, C+. Ebo Batin Odro, Deputy Minister for Justice and Attorney General, 60, is the Member of Parliament for Cape Coast in the Central Region. Before becoming MP, he was head of Chambers for Batin and Partners in Cape Coast. He is married with 4 children. General performance, D+. Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisiu, Deputy Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, 34, is a veterinarian. General performance, C+. Dr. Edward Omani Buama, Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, 38, is a medical doctor. He was president of the National Union of Ghana Students and was previously Deputy Minister of Environment, Science and Technology. General performance, C+. James Ajenim Boateng, a Deputy Minister for Information, 38, has a journalism background. General performance, B-. Emmanuel Amakofibua, Deputy Minister for Energy, 46, is the Member of Parliament for Elembele in the Western Region. He holds a master's degree from the University of Maryland in the United States. He is married with 2 children. General performance, C. Ruben Nino Tedua, Deputy Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, 59, is the Member of Parliament for Lejokuku in the Greater Accra region. A journalist and communications expert, he earned a master's degree in communications from the University of Ghana in 1989. He is married with 4 children. General performance, C. Yao Efabefi, a Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, 57, is the Member of Parliament for Kintampo South in the Brahafo region. He holds a postgraduate certificate in administration from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration and an Executive Master of Governance and Leadership degree. He is married with 5 children. General performance, C. Inusa Abdullahi Hussaini, Deputy Minister for Energy, 50, is the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central in the Northern Region. Before becoming an MP in 2006, he was a Senior Associate Barrister at Law Trust Company in Accra. He is married with 4 children. General performance, B-. Hawa Uboya Gariba, Deputy Minister for Women and Children's Affairs, 44, is a professional teacher. General performance, F. Chris Kodo, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, 66, is a career diplomat. General performance, B. Fifi Kwete, a Deputy Minister for Finance, 45, is an investment banker. General performance, B. Robert Joseph Metonunu, Deputy Minister for Health, 58, is a social development and policy analyst. General performance, B. Ni Amasana Mwale, a Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, 54, is the Member of Parliament for Dadekotopon in the Greater Accra region. He is an agronomist. He is married with 3 children. General performance, C. Dr. Ni Oklikwe Kuma, Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, 53, is the Member of Parliament for Krowo in the Greater Accra region. A veterinary surgeon, he earned a master's degree in veterinary science from the Ukraine University in 1989. He is married with 4 children. General performance, D+. Enchibwesiako Sechere, Deputy Minister for Employment and Social Welfare, 59, is an administrator. General performance, C+. Seth Tekwe, a Deputy Minister for Finance, 55, is an accountant. General performance, B. Dr. Alfred Sugritia, a Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, 56, is the Member of Parliament for Nalerigu Gambaga in the Northern Region. A veterinary surgeon, he earned a doctorate in veterinary medicine from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. General performance, C+.
Before we announce the PPR results for Ghana's Ministers of State and this year's presidential candidates, we'd like to welcome back Unity Dance Ensemble. Sichi is a recreational dance of the Fantis. It originated in the 1920s but became very popular around Ghana's independence in 1957. That was a wonderful performance. Now we would like to present this year's PPI results for Ghana's Ministers of State.
William Kwesi Abua, Minister for Interior 73, has held various security positions in Ghana, including Commander of Police in the Ashanti region and later head of the Criminal Investigation Department in Accra. He attended the Police College, where he qualified as an Assistant Superintendent of Police. From there, he went on to study law at the University of Ghana School of Law, eventually earning 2 law degrees. General performance, C+. Kwesi Ahoy, Minister for Food and Agriculture, will turn 66 in November. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Cape Coast, postgraduate certificate in budgeting and financial management from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and planning and resource management from the University of Maryland, USA. He's married with 7 children. General performance, B-. Moses Asaga, Minister for Employment and Social Welfare 55, is the MP for Nabdam in the Upper East region. He is a banker and economist by profession, having obtained a master's degree in petroleum engineering from the University of Aberdeen, Scotland in 1987 and an MBA from Yonsei University in South Korea in 1990. He is married and has 3 children. General performance, C. Alexander Sumahinsa, Minister for Chieftaincy and Culture, 59, hails from Goka in the Bunohafu region. He is former MP for Jamai North. He previously worked with the Ghana Education Service as Assistant Director in charge of supervision. He holds a diploma in education from the Accra Technical Training Center, a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Cape Coast, and an executive master's degree in governance and leadership from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA. He is married with 6 children. General performance, C. Sherry Ayite, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology 64, is a biochemist and former Managing Director of Georg Distilleries. She has been active in the ruling NDC party since her days as the treasurer of the 31st December Women's Movement. She was appointed Minister in 2009. General performance, B+. Juliana Azuma Mensah, Minister for Women and Children's Affairs, 62, was elected MP in 2004. She is a midwife who obtained her state-registered general nurse certificate from the Ipswich East Anglia School of Nursing in Britain in 1973 and a state-certified midwife certificate in 1975 from St. Peter's Hospital, Chertsey in UK. She holds a master's degree in health management and administration from Birmingham University in Britain. She is married and has 2 children. General performance, C. Fritz Bafo, Minister for Information 60, is a media consultant. He holds a master's degree in communications from Leicester University in Britain. He has also worked on television in Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Britain, and the United States. He is married and has 4 children. General performance, C. Alban Bagbin, Minister for Health, 55, was born in Sombo in the Upper West region. He is a graduate of the University of Ghana and the Ghana School of Law. He holds an executive master's degree in governance and leadership from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA. General performance, C+. Akuasena Dansua, Minister for Tourism, 54, serves on 4 parliamentary committees. She became Minister for Tourism in 2011 after initially being appointed Minister for Youth and Sports in 2010. She holds an executive master's degree in governance and leadership and a graduate diploma in communications. General performance, C-. Alhaji Collins Dauda, Minister for Transport 55, was elected to Parliament in 1992. In 2009, he was named Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. He became Minister of Transport a year later. He was a teacher and taught at the Kukuoma Great Secondary School and Ahafumai Secondary School. General performance, C+. Dr. Kwabena Dufo, Minister for Finance and Economic Planning 64, was Governor of the Bank of Ghana from 1997 to 2001. He holds a PhD in Economics from the University of Syracuse, New York, and Master's degree in Finance and Banking and Economics. General performance, B. Joe Kwashi Gidisu, Minister for Roads and Highways, is 60. He is the NDC MP for the Central Tongue constituency. He has served on parliamentary committees on education and poverty reduction. He holds a master's degree in development studies from the Institute of Social Studies at The Hague, Netherlands. General performance, C+. Mike Allen Hammer, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, 57, was first elected to Parliament in 1996. He was appointed Minister for Transport in 2009 and Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in 2011. He earned a degree in Building Technology from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi and an MBA from Central University College. General performance, C. Clement Kofi Humado, Minister for Youth and Sports, turns 59 in December. He represents the Anlo constituency in Parliament. He is a consultant in agriculture and rural development. He holds a degree in governance and leadership and is married. General performance, C+. Haruna Idrusu, Minister for Communications, 42, is a lawyer and Member of Parliament for Tamale South. He is a holder of a bachelor's degree in sociology. He's married with 2 children. General performance, B-. Dr. Benjamin Kumbo, Minister for Justice and Attorney General, is a former MP. He was appointed in 2011. He served as Minister for Health in 2009. Before entering politics, Kumbo was a lecturer at the University of Ghana's Faculty of Law. He is married and has 3 children. General performance, C-. Enoch Tai Mensah, Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, 66, is the MP for Ningo Prampram. He was Mayor of Accra in 1982, Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports 1992 to 93, and Substantive Minister for Youth and Sports 1993 to 2001. He is an accountant. He is married with 7 children. General performance, C+. Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, 63, is a former Member of Parliament. He was the late President John Atta Mills's running mate in the 2004 elections. He previously served as Minister of Employment and Social Welfare under former President Rawlings. He has 3 law degrees. General performance, B. Lee Okran, Minister for Education, 68, was born in Benin in the Western region. Okran attended Kharkov State University in Ukraine in 1966 and Cuban Agriculture University in Russia, 1966 to 71. He also studied at the Harvard Institute for International Development in 1990 and then the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University in 1993. He is a former Deputy Western Regional Minister and a former Deputy Minister for both Trade and Environment, Science and Technology. General performance, C+. Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, 50, was appointed in 2011. He was born in Chebi in the Eastern Region. He is a former Member of Parliament for Fantiakwa and former Eastern Regional Minister. He holds a postgraduate certificate in public administration. General performance, B. Dr. Joe Otin Ejay, Minister for Energy, 54, is a former MP for Bosomtwe in the Ashanti region. He graduated from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He also pursued studies in power systems in Canada, eventually earning a PhD from the University of Saskatchewan. He also studied at Cranfield University in UK, where he obtained a master's degree in business administration, majoring in finance and macroeconomics. General performance, B. Retired Lieutenant General Joseph Henry Smith, Minister for Defense, 67, was commander of Ghana's army from 1996 to 2001. He retired from the military in 2009 after 39 years of service. He attended the Ghana Military Academy. As a soldier, he received numerous awards and honors, including the Companion of the Order of the Volta 2001 and the Legion of Merit from the U.S. Army 1992. He's married and has 5 children. General performance, B-. Hannah Tete, Minister for Trade and Industry, is 45. She obtained a law degree in 1989 from the University of Ghana and a barrister at law degree from the Ghana Law School in Accra. She is a former MP for Ewutu Senya. She was appointed minister in 2009. General performance, B.
Before we announce the PPI results for the president and presidential candidates, we'd like to welcome back Unity Dance Ensemble for another performance. This time, they perform Kete, which is commonly found in the royal courts of traditional Akan communities. Gentlemen, here comes the moment you have all been waiting for. The PPI results for the president and presidential candidates.
President John Dramani Mahama, 54, is the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. He was born at Damango in the northern region of Ghana. He is a communications expert, historian, writer, former MP, and a former Minister of State. In 2009, he became Vice President of Ghana and became President on July 24th after President Mills's death in office. Mahama also served under President Jerry Rawlings as Deputy Minister of Communications from April 1997 to November 1998, and then as the Minister of Communications from November 1998 to January 2001. He is married to Lodina Mahama. They have 7 children. 2012 General Performance, B+. Ethical Behavior, C+. Dr. Foster Abu Sakara, presidential candidate of the Convention People's Party, 54, is an agricultural scientist. He runs a consulting firm in Accra and is also involved in real estate development. Dr. Sakara owns more than 100 acres of farmland in the northern region where he grows cashew and operates a cattle ranch. He and wife Mary Lily Kafela have 4 children. 2012 General Performance, C-. Ethical Behavior, B-. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, 68, is a lawyer. He is a former MP and has served on the boards and committees of numerous political, legal, and social organizations in Ghana. Under former President John Kufuor, he served as Attorney General and Minister of Justice from 2001 to 2003, and then Foreign Minister from April 2003 to July 2007. In December 2007, he was elected presidential candidate for the 2008 elections. He lost to the NDC's John Atta Mills in a presidential runoff, despite winning the first round of voting. He and wife Rebecca Akufo-Addo have 5 children. 2012 General Performance. B+. Ethical behavior. C-. Hassan Ayariga, presidential candidate of the People's National Convention, is a 41-year-old businessman who was born at Boko in the Upper East region of Ghana. He is chairman and CEO of Hassan Ayariga & Co., a haulage firm. He also owns the Hallo Pizza chain in Ghana. He joined the People's National Convention in 2002 and contested for the party's vice chairmanship in 2004, but later withdrew and supported the eventual winner. Ayariga is married to Anita Ayariga. They have 3 daughters and 2 sons. 2012 General Performance. D. Ethical behavior. C+.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 2012 Political Performance Index, compiled by the ICPA, the International Center for Public Accountability. The country's democracy works best when Ghanaians have detailed and accurate information about how their leaders are performing. This new era of participatory democracy can only mean better days ahead for Ghana, provided its citizens remain determined to stay involved. We can always make democracy stronger. It is an ongoing process, and new ideas and adjustments are always needed. The PPI, now managed by the ICPA, is the new and important key to such a political process. Thanks to all the citizen evaluators who gave their time and energy to compile data for this current index, as well as every member of parliament who offered the ICPA their own self-assessment and peer review. But most of all, I want to thank all the citizens of Ghana who are becoming more actively involved in the democratic evolution of the country. To find out results for even more public officials, be sure to visit the ICPA's website, www.icpaweb.org. We end this program with a final dance performance by the Unity Dance Ensemble. The dance is Balogo, the most recent of all Ghana recreational musical types, an offshoot of Gome, Oge, and Kolomashi. Thank you for watching.